And there we go. Let's start this thing off. All right. Okay, we're not playing this game tonight. There you go. All right. Looks to be good there. It's fired up. Okay. Start with you guys. These need a little spray. Okay. Spray these out a little bit. There we go. This is my least favorite part. I got so many wire brushes. Do this work. I gotta grind this thing out. I bought this little hyper tough hammer. I want to grind it and make a round head out of it. It's got a nice bounce. I can't really grind it round on this. I'd have to use the bottom of this, so I need to wait until I get the new grinder, so up into the rafters it goes for now. straightening these rail anchors. Always a pain in the ass. Ooh, almost dropped my bottle of scale. Open the Twitch thing in case I need to manage anything. Why is my Twitch app not telling me that I'm online? Am I not online? I am online. Okay. I'd be mad if my dashboard was broken. I gotta clean up down here soon. Alright, here we go. Oh, other glove. This helps. First heat always takes forever. Audio's a little loud today, isn't it? Sorry about that. This part sucks. I need to build something to do this. It's not hot enough yet. Back in. I need to get some 3/4 inch steel or 7/8 inch steel so I can start building pieces that I can put in here so I can slide. I don't know. I wonder if how close is a spike? Not very. That's an old spike. What about a new spike? Look at that, I got one without a head on it. I forgot about that. I found this up at the tracks. It was a railroad spike, but doesn't have a head on it. I found that kind of funny. I mean, that's not even close. I wonder how much I could beat this down to try to... That's a lot. That is really way smaller than 7/8 of an inch. Back in. Woo. Okay. Come on, get over it. Oh shit. Forgot about the fan. That could have been a problem. Get some air pumped in here. Almost forgot that. Okay, cool. Now I won't die. Hopefully. Gotta find some kind of pieces I can use for this. I don't really have anything. It's 7/8. That's really fucking thick. I think these bolts would be a little too thin, even if I hammered them down. Actually, ooh, they might work. Flatten them out just a little bit. Pretty close. I might be able to do that. There. Keep that around for later. think I'm going to work on this after. I can do that. I got to get another rail bed or two. Get a couple of them. Yeah, that'll work. I'm using these tools for their exact purpose. Okay. Whew. Feel good. I have a lot of wire brushes. You know what? It'll do. Start getting some of this shit cleaned up. While that reheats, put this tape away. Flatten this baby out. Let's get to hammering. If you are out there watching, be it in YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, wherever you're out there watching, don't forget to say hello, drop a line in whatever comments or chat you have available. Love to hear from you as always. As I do all my normal house cleaning crap, get things ready to go. Only 22 minutes in and I'm ready to go. Never said I was the most prepared. Welcome aboard, anybody who is watching. If you are out there checking out the stream, feel free to say hello. Also, feel free to ask any questions you may have about what the hell I'm doing down here in my basement. More than happy to answer anything you'd like to know. Or if you just want to say hi, feel free to do that too. Let's see how smart I am, huh? All right. How will I be quenching that? Well, seeing as this is a high carbon spring steel, also known as a rail anchor, it will be getting quenched in this, the lovely jug of canola oil that I have right next to me, which I probably should push to the side, but it is being quenched in there. And it has given me great edges on everything that I've quenched. And then the tempering, well, nobody needs to see that, so I do that upstairs in my oven, you know, because, you know, that wouldn't make a good stream. Like, let's just point the camera at the oven and temper it. So, so yeah, I bring it up to right about, for this one, it's right about 1800. So, and to make sure that it's 1800, we have this little lovely doodad. And then we drop her in. Yeah, I've been trying to learn. I've been at this since about March. So, I'm not one to want to waste anything. So, to make sure I don't waste any metal, oh, thank you for the follow, sir. Appreciate it. To make sure that I don't waste metal, I wanted to make sure I was doing the right things with it. So, no sense in sitting down here and banging on steel for hours at a time to just waste it when you quench it. that would just be kind of pointless. So yeah, that's the general purpose has been to just I have learned a lot from Forged in Fire. I have learned a bit from those guys. They're very helpful. I wouldn't call myself a blacksmith yet. More of a knife maker, blade maker. I've got some blades upstairs. Unfortunately, they're not down here. I apologize. I would have to go get them. But as far as blacksmithing, like the most blacksmithing thing I do is these rail spike bottle openers, which are fun. My regular job is I just work in an office. I'm an executive assistant in an office. I type papers all day and make sure their computers don't blow up. So this is all just for fun. This is just for fun and a little side money. Well, you're one up on me. I came from nowhere near doing this to doing this. So you definitely went from, from a profession in a very similar, I guess, well, somewhat similar, because you mess with steel and metal enough. So I went into it pretty cold. So. If that's the right term for it, but I went into it pretty bare, and learned mostly everything on my own. What do you mean? What's my doing? What am I doing now? Right now, I'm working on a chef's knife. Oh, you mean what I'm? Oh, okay. It's. I don't know. It's fun. I think that the knife making is so much more rewarding. Like I have a wood shop behind me. My lathe is here. If you can maybe see it. There's a bandsaw here. There's a drill press probably right around here behind Mr. Poopy Butthole somewhere. But all that stuff is back there, and so I enjoy doing the woodworking, but putting the sweat and energy into the metal really is. It's a different animal, and it just feels so much more rewarding when I'm done. It is fun, though. I'd recommend it to anybody, really. Well, that would be fun. But the issue is my ceiling is here. And, I mean, I'm getting plenty on the swings. I'm getting plenty of acceleration. The next thing I need to do is get a new table that'll drop this a little bit more. But I am also 135 pounds. So, and this steel, it takes a while to move at first. This 1065 is really, really tough to move at first. I can pound on it hard as I want, and it takes a while to move when it's thick. So, like I can bang out a rail spike. Yeah, I know, but again, if I had a longer handle, I'm up here. That hammer right here. Now that head that touches the ceiling right there. So if I went any higher, I can't. You follow? I can't get any higher than that, or I'll start smack. Like if I just go like that, I hit the ceiling. So that's kind of the catch right now. Eventually, at some point, the wife and I are looking at moving and getting into a new place and getting a garage and stuff like that. I unfortunately can't build a garage here because we got some water issues here in this town, and my backyard turns into a swamp. And honestly, I haven't hammered in like longer than I want to admit, so that may be why my strikes are a little soft right now. But I am looking for controlled strikes right now on top of anything to really move the metal where I want it. But it is moving slowly but surely. Hold up the hammer. It is an S-wing, 3-pound S-wing. So, strong little thing. I am hopefully, I have another one, a little 2.5-pounder here that I'm probably going to round the head off when I get my new grinder and use the rounded head to move steel faster. Oh, well, I was choked up a little bit to get some control. I was choked up, so you know, I don't go too crazy. Changing up what I'm doing, you know, back and forth to try to get the control so I don't go crazy. But this S-wing's been a lifesaver. I had this guy was my first little bad boy, but the handle's just a little shaky, and I'm just not sure if it's going to stay. This one's 2.5. I rounded this one up. Where's it 3? No, this is 3. This is a 3-pounder, but there's just a little bit of wiggle in the head, and I don't know if I can. Oh yeah, that's really loose. And I don't know if I can 100% fix it. So it's on the shelf until I can. Put it that way. What's the goal? This is to make a knife. That's the goal. To make a knife and get strong. That's it. That's really it. Right now it's still so early. So this knife is a chopper that I was working on a couple weeks ago. Basically this is the same piece of steel, which let me grab a freshie. Show you what that looked like beforehand. This is a piece of rail anchor before it's all untwisted. Oh, why do I pound it? I mean, you gotta move it. Every hit is moving it in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't look like it because it's very hard to see each hit from the camera, but each hit is moving the metal in a direction, whatever direction I really want it to. Right now I'm trying to widen it a bit, so that's why the top is wider. And I'm trying to run the steel out to the end to lengthen it as well. So that's what all the pounding's all about. It's really just moving it. When you don't have power hammers and press rollers and all that lovely stuff, that's the point of pounding. I'm basically just taking it and pushing it out. So that's really all it's, I mean, if that's what you're asking, it's just moving, it's just very slow. That's really the only way to move it, is just to hit it. Hit it a lot. So unfortunately, you know, I don't do what I guess you would call material removal. Some knife makers, they'll get a piece of stock like this, Oh, okay, well, yeah, that's what I was asking. Well, some people do what's called material removal. They'll get a piece of stock like this, which is a lot thinner and flatter. I could technically do that if the piece was flat enough. This piece is not flat enough. So cutting it out from, if you can see that, how thick that piece comes, you know, you can't really make a knife from something like that. I mean, you could grind something really thin and lean out, but if you can hammer it out, you can work the blade out thicker than it initially was, and you can get a different shape. Some people will do material removal, and that's that's perfectly fine when you have a piece of steel that's at that size, be it an 1/8 or 3/16 thick. You'll be able to do that stuff, but when you have a piece like this that's super thick already, you can't cut it out or grind it, or you're going to grind for 6 weeks, and it's going to be a very, very small, kind of stabby little blade as opposed to, a wider blade like a chef's knife or anything like that. So you have to move the metal in kind of steps and work it in different phases to really get the blade where you want it. So as I work it there, I'm trying to work the steel away from here to get it longer, and now I want to do the same here to keep it leaner. I'm going to work it on the sides to push the metal back down towards the tip as well, like that. So yeah, so that's basically it. I mean, I know it's, again, with more powerful tools, yeah, you can do it quicker if you get thinner stock. I mean, yeah, like this piece here, for instance, is pretty much already ready to be a knife. I'm from New Jersey, so not exactly the blacksmithing capital of the world in a nice urban area near Philadelphia, but like with this piece, you can see it's almost thick enough to be a blade. The handle size is maybe a little thick. I might want to work it a little bit. But yeah, I could work this out, make it thinner, instead of just grinding and cutting away and doing all that. Also that costs more money. When you can get the steel cheaper and still know it's good steel, that's always a good bet. Some people have more money, so they go out and they buy whatever steel they want, which is fine. Good, God bless you. Go buy expensive 1095 steel. But I do want, I don't have all that option all the time, so well, if I had a metal lathe, the only thing I could do is really round stock. I mean, well, I have a lathe already, and I know I could use a CNC or something like that to shape it out, but I don't know. It's more fun for me to make it by hand. As a tool and die maker, you're somebody who dabbles in precision and shaping and all that stuff, but for me, it's more about that. It's that process of getting there. It's that process of hammering the knife out from a raw piece of steel and working it to. It's a wood lathe. No, I know. But like to mill out a piece and just like mill out a shape, I guess I'm not really like. I have more fun taking it from a piece of raw steel than I would be just to program in a shape and cut it out and then get it there. It's just, I mean, it's cool for like making tools and stuff, but I don't know, I just love the feel of the actual blacksmithing part. For someone who sits in an office all day, you have to understand this is kind of the only part of the day where I can actually feel like I'm doing something and feel alive. as opposed to just sitting at my desk all day, not really doing, anything strenuous or exciting or anything like that. So getting to do this instead of just punching in something on a lathe and making something out, it's a lot more fun to actually get it there this way. So that's why. Like, I'm sure I could do that stuff, but I know. I mean, I have the little Jet Mini, but I also need a lot of stuff first for doing this. The biggest thing I need right now is I need a grinder. I need a proper grinder, which I'm saving up for. They're about $1,500, the one I'm looking for. So, excuse me. The one I'm hoping to get is going to be about that much, and that'll give me the capability to grind stuff a lot faster. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I could do, but I mean, for me, I just don't honestly see the need for a metal lathe down here. For knives and flat stuff that I normally make, I just don't really see the, I don't know, I guess I just don't see the immediate need for me in this shop. I mean, yeah, a milling machine would be great, program everything in and it just cuts out a blank. I mean, that's great, but like I said, for me, it's the journey. I've kind of gotten away from working on the lathe because I really want to I want to do the work harder. Working on pens and bottle stoppers and things like that. It's cool, but I don't sweat. I don't get tired. I don't get dirty. This is great by comparison. This gives me the chance to just, this long sleeve shirt's killing me right about now. I'm thinking about taking this off because it's hot as hell down here. I wanted this to protect my arms, but then I realized I'm not actually doing what I need to do to protect my arms because I'm not making any bottle openers. I think I'm actually going to ditch this. That's not going to work. Hang that there. Ah, shit. Excuse me 1 second. If I had the money for a milling machine, yeah, it's all the way down there. I think if I had the money for a milling machine, I would have a lot of other tools instead first. A lot of other tools I really, really want. Like a hydro press. That would be first. I'm planning on making one of those, a hydraulic press, out of like a log splitter. But that's in the slightly distant future. Well, the one I'm looking at is a 2x72 inch, 3 horsepower, kick-ass grinder.
The price is reasonable. It's only about $1,500 for the grinder and all the parts I need. So that's the company. Where are you located at? Are you in where are you? Okay. Oh, are you talking about like a hand? Oh, no, not a disc grinder. No. No, we're talking about a belt grinder. So it's an American website, but search for Ameribrade, Ameribrade. The Ameribrade 272 grinder. That's what I'm looking at. You'll see that, and then then you'll see what I'm talking about. No. It's not a hand grinder. No. This grinder is a pretty big thing that sits on a table, has a 72-inch belt that rotates around different wheels, sits on there, does all your knife grinding and all that good stuff thing. Does a lot of work. Yeah, that's what I need. Because the little grinder that's up here, a little half-horsepower bench grinder, just doesn't quite do it. Even with the attachment that I have on there, it just doesn't move enough metal. So while I'm streaming or just working in general, it takes way too long to get work done. So to have a grinder like that is going to greatly improve my productivity, so I don't have to spend as long working on a knife. Oh, I have a great hand grinder back there, but with this thing with the flat surface on it, you get a lot better finish. It's a 36-inch belt. I mean, a 36 grit belt. Actually, it is a 36 grit belt, inch belt too. But the thing about it is that it, it gives you that flat finish. The reason the Ameribrade or any other 2x72 grinder that's out there is what I'm looking for, is because you can have a flat surface to grind on, so that you don't warp your blade, so you get a better finish. There's a lot of things, if you grind a warp in with those things, if you grind too much material away, well, $1,500 for a hand grinder, that's a lot. I mean, it's got to be good if it's that kind of price, but I just like the finish with one of those flat grinders. I mean, I have the hand grinder, and I've done work with them, but to use a hand grinder to try to get, it might have a lot of power. But when you're trying to do a knife, the best thing I learned is that you really want to keep that flat surface. So having that, having that nice surface to work on, they call it a platen surface. So you have a vertical surface that you can work on, and you can put the tool, the piece you're working on there, and get it really nice and flat and even. Because even this thing, I've hammered it out, but it's not. It's pretty flat if you look at it this way. It looks pretty straight and flat, but all the dents and everything from the hammer marks, if you have a nice flat surface to put it on, you get rid of all that. You get a straight edge. You don't get warps. So having a good grinder to do that sort of stuff is just, It really is. It makes life so much easier, and that's why I want one so bad. That's basically why I want one. Hammer slip. So I guess for me, I haven't really gotten into like precision. For real hand knife making, I guess the only precision you want is you want straight. You don't want warps, because any kind of warps will show up when you quench. Your blade will bend and bow and pretzel or potato chip. So you get that kind of stuff going on. So you really want to just keep it flat. I'm sure a good hand grinder. Oh, hey Molly, how you doing? Knives and bottle openers mostly. Been working on rail spike bottle openers. So, new little beauties that I've been making from rail spikes. Very effective, as I've been told. I don't drink, so I've given them to friends to test out. Plans for the new year. Well, as I was just telling Classic WoW here, I am in the process of looking into getting a new grinder. That's the big deal right now. Saving up some money for a new grinder so I can get some projects done and turn things around a little bit quicker, because I know you guys don't like watching me grind for 3 days in a row. So, yeah, that's the general idea. Right now, it's basically get that grinder, which which will help, So sell some bottle openers, some blades, things like that. Sell some of this stuff and put it all towards that. And yeah, that's a good goal. My resolution was not to light myself on fire. That's my New Year's resolution. So I wouldn't call it a goal, just a resolution. Swing and a miss. Happens. Yeah, unfortunately, I used to use this pair of tongs a lot more, and this pair of tongs would really force me to like grip down because it really wasn't very comfortable. So it really worked the forearm a little bit more. And then I went and said, okay, I'm going to buy a set of tongs that I don't have to hold as hard, and they just hold the work real nice. And yeah, this arm stopped getting all the work. But I got a pitch for baseball in the spring, so I need the right arm as strong as I can get it. So I play in the men's baseball league, so I need to get strong. That's the hope, anyway. Get the arm strong, get ready to throw. It is getting there, though. It does feel, feels a lot stronger. The shoulder feels good. I've been able to throw a complete game. That's pretty good, right? It's not bad for 37. Most guys 37 couldn't throw 2 innings, let alone a complete game. So I'm pretty proud of that. So, but we'll see. Chef's knife is coming along, though. Trying to just get a reasonable shape into it. Funny thing is, I feel like I've actually lost some strength in my arm because I haven't been hammering as much as I'd like. The weather here in New Jersey is not bad right now. We got some squalls. Yesterday we had some nasty wind and some squalls that blew through. We got a little bit of snowy bullshit, but it wasn't too bad, and it blew through. By the weekend, it's going to be in the 60s Fahrenheit for, I don't know what it is otherwise. And yeah, I used to play hockey when I was younger. I used to play roller hockey, but baseball isn't as physically taxing, so I had to kind of stay away from hockey because A, I was a goalie, B, ice hockey's just expensive. Pretty much all hockey is, especially down here in the States. It's a lot easier in Canada, I'm sure. It's probably a lot cheaper. You can play hockey just about bloody anywhere. But here in the States, in New Jersey, Philadelphia area, you're paying a fortune for rink time. Equipment's expensive, a lot of that stuff. And it's kind of a shame. It kind of discourages a lot of kids from playing, myself included. You know, how much it costs for rink time. And yeah, it is. It's just, the equipment's expensive, and I get it. You know, I know this stuff's not cheap, but I did stick to roller hockey, and let me tell you, if I went to ice, man, wow, how much more expensive goalie equipment is. No thanks. Kiss my ass. Besides, you guys in Canada are born with skates. You guys are born with skates on. It's a shame. Like, well, the one thing I'd love to do, but we really can't do. I would love to try curling, and I think like the only curling arena is, God, miles north of here. So, I mean, I'd love to do that, but you know, it's. I don't feel like taking a drive to make an idiot out of myself. If it was something that was a little closer, I'd love to try curling. I always thought it was fun. Now that it's growing in popularity thanks to some of the Olympics, I mean, that's awesome. I think it's great. But, you know, it's kind of unfortunate it's not around here. Yeah, that's funny. No, there's nothing like that. There's no community rinks. In America here in these areas, it's either massive monster rinks, you know, that are just like regular ice skating rinks that you pay a fortune for rink time, or nothing. We don't have any in between. There's really no community rinks. That's why I said, like, the issue around here, especially in this area, is you just don't, you know, we don't have that kind of option. So for me, like I said, it was roller hockey. We actually we have a couple of them around here. We have roller hockey stuff, but again, I had to start looking out for my health. You know, I was starting to get older. I was settling into a normal job. I You couldn't be showing up to work being like, yeah, I can't do my job for 6 weeks because I broke my hand. You know, that doesn't fly. Yeah, it's nothing like that here. You know, we don't have that kind of loveliness, unfortunately. So anything like that is out in is just like roller hockey rinks. That's it. They're the open outdoor stuff. That's the only thing. I mean, both countries, both Canada and Finland, you guys take your hockey serious as hell. I can't think of Finnish hockey players right now, but I know they're serious about it. I apologize for that, but I used to be better at that. I used to be able to know where players and shit were from, but I don't know. I barely have enough time to keep up with anything. Oh, Solani. Okay, there you go. No, I know who Teemu Solani is. He's Finnish, okay. See, it's starting to get a knife shape. It's going to be a lot bigger. He is one of the mighty munchkins. Or was he? No, was Teemu Solani one of the small guys? I forget if Solani was one of the small ones. Me and my buddies used to, we used to love the small, fast guys. Anybody under 5'10". Yeah, okay. Damn. We loved those guys, man. Any of the small guys, they were so hard to catch. That's how I mostly knew my hockey, because we were usually playing hockey games like NHL on Xbox or whatever the hell it was at the time. That's how we learned all the players. Our favorite team was, yeah, everybody under 5'10". Everybody under 5'10", we had the Mighty Munchkins. They were the fastest little dudes. You couldn't check them. You couldn't catch them. God forbid you ever get a clean hit on them and break them in half. But we always had them in the team, and we made a team of all these little guys, man. Couldn't touch them. Little dudes were skating all over the place. In hockey, yeah, you're small if you're under 5'10". That was our goalpost anyway. Me and my buddy are both 5'10", so we figure anybody our height or smaller is a small hockey player, so that's why our gauge was what it was. Also, if you are out there watching in YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch land and you haven't said anything, please feel free, say hello, drop a line. I love hearing from my viewers. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I will answer anything you'd like to know. Ah, oh, so close. And there's still short hockey players. There's still some of them out there. You just got to try harder. Just got to have the speed when you're that tall. That's all. You got to make sure you have plenty of speed. God damn it, Mr. PB. Get up there. For all my Rick and Morty fans out there. Not many people even notice him hanging around back there. But it's good you're hopping back in, Molly. I appreciate you coming back. It's always good seeing people after not being in the stream for a little bit. So it's always good seeing you. So, oh yeah, man, Rick and Morty's the stuff. Need more new episodes. This is turning out to be a pretty good season. So. it's always something different. I'm always trying something new, something different. Excuse me. And drinking too much Coke, so it makes me burp too much. But yeah, you should be coming back soon because I do have some tube steel. And tube steel for me means one thing. No, not that I'm building a new anvil stand, but I am planning on doing some ball bearing Damascus steel soon. So I'm going to order some ball bearings. So this stuff is going to be getting turned into ball bearing Damascus, canister Damascus. So I'm going to do that. That'll be coming up real soon. So, nice. Well, my welder's hanging over there. My welder's actually well, yeah, I'm pointing at my monitor like you can see. It's right about there behind the notification box. So I will be doing some welding, even though I'm not very good at it. But all I need to do is make a seal. It doesn't need to be structural or anything. Ow. Shit. Trying to work the belly out on this thing a little bit. Yeah, see, that fortunately is the stuff I don't have to mess with because once something is hardened, I don't actually have to usually worry about heating it unless I screwed something up. Most of what I do, once it's hardened, that's it. I really shouldn't have to do anything else after that except for a mild temper. To like bring it down a little bit. So fortunately for me, that's usually it. I'll grind it out. Like I'll take like this one, for instance, I'll get it all ground so it's basically really flat and ready to go. Then once it's quenched, well, before it's quenched, I have to put the handle pinholes in it. And then once I put the handle pinholes, I can then I can quench it, because if I harden it first, not getting that drill bit through. You know that as well as I do. Yeah, but there's no point in trying to use carbide. Just be smart about it and do it beforehand. That's all. Just be smart and remember to drill your holes before you quench. If I learned anything from Forged and Fire, it's that. You know, I've seen way too many times when they're on Forged and Fire and they quench their shit before they put pinholes in there. And they quenched it, now they're over waiting for, you know, in the next round, and they got that drill bit, and just hear screaming as that drill is trying to cut through, and it ain't gonna. Right. So basically, what most people will do then is they'll take the front half of their blade, submerge it in water. There's water here. I don't know why I'm pointing at it like you can see it. Annealing could be. Yeah, annealing would be what you would do. I mean, you would temper it or just reheat it. And so what people would do is you can put the front half in water so it doesn't grab any heat. So you can heat and soften the back side and lose the heat treat, but not lose it on your actual edge, you know, your blade part. So you would just submerge the entire blade underwater. this is cooling off fast. I mean, yeah, it's a temper. I mean, you're removing the temper is what you're doing. You're removing the tempering process. Tempering is when you harden it. So you remove the temper, you know. Case hardening is cool. I had seen that, and I thought about doing it for the railroad spikes because they're a lower carbon to make knives out of them. It seems like a cool process, making a carbon pack and coating it, but I mean, it's cool to do, especially for small tools. It would be neat, but with what I do here, there's just not. There's so many things that would be cool to do. Like, frankly, there's so many cool things to try and do, but you know, if I feel like, and it sounds kind of shitty, you know, but if it doesn't get me to a point that's going to be any use, I just don't really want to waste the time on it, you know, because why go after doing all this stuff if it doesn't have something for me to build or do, or, you know, if I can't case harden something useful, you know, like there's no need to add carbon to the spring steel, so I don't. Glad as hell I wore the kilt today. Woo! It is 2,200 degrees inside of my forge right now. Toasty, I would say. I felt like checking that. I don't know why. Goddamn Faucian. I've only been down here for an hour and 15 minutes. It has been a while since I've been hammering. God, it feels like a lot longer than that. Oops. Yes, 2,200 Fahrenheit. Let me see if we can turn it over to centigrade for you. I don't know how. Sorry, I don't know how to change it. I'm sure Google could tell you what it is. If it was 2,200 centigrade, it would be a bad time. I'd be warm right now. Way warmer than I am. Yeah, baby. Go. waiting too long for the forge. 1200-ish. Whew. That's not too bad. It's still a big number, either way. Yeah, I remember that much from chemistry class. They ingrain that crap in your head. I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit's a dumb number like 300 or 200 and so I don't even remember. I don't know. All I know is that's hot. It's hot enough to boil water, it's all I know. It's hot enough to light anything on fire pretty much that I have down here that can touch it, so, including myself. Like why I said, that is my New Year's resolution, not to light myself on fire. That is a good resolution, I think. To hell with anybody who thinks otherwise. It's really starting to try to run from me. Almost worn through another pair of gloves. Fortunately, this still has all the fingers. Last pair was pretty beat. Did I throw them out? No. These are my grinding gloves because they're so bad. I don't like hammering in them, but thumb is I might as well just throw these out. Yeah, well, I always get confused when they talk about weather. If somebody doesn't say like that it's like Celsius and they're like, oh, it's a balmy 26 out. I'm like, or whatever, something like that. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you in Alaska? It's cold as hell. And then I got to remember they're talking in centigrade. And I don't know that. I'm sure probably pretty good. To have to deal with precision and stuff like that. Yeah, it's hard work, Mario. No doubt there. Those bottle openers are nothing. You gotta swing it hard, you gotta swing it a lot. Well, there you go, that's not bad. I've been at this now for about an hour or so. Well, like I said, I don't do this regular, so I don't really do this as a regular job. So, you know, my job's kind of a different profession. You know, I work in an office setting. So. Yeah, it's with this Mario, you really, I mean, it's funny because you have the expression too that you got to strike while the iron's hot, but really with this, you got to hit it hot, hit it hard. I'm moving a big piece of steel. I mean, this thing started, what I'm working on now started as one of these again. So for those of you who haven't seen it, it's a piece like this. It's all spring steel. Previous one I've done, you can forge out. I forged out something about this big and still had a ton of leftover from where my hand is down. That's pretty much all untouched. So right now I'm working on a chef's knife, so this thing I have to make it crazy thin. That's kind of the color of the day on this one. This one has to be a lot thinner because as a chef's knife, you don't want a big bulky knife that's slow to move, that doesn't want to cut things. Now, it's going to be sharp regardless, but it needs to be thin to really cut a lot easier and take a lot of the work out for whoever's using it. I've never done a chef's knife this big. I plan on making this thing at least 8-9 inches, so we'll see how it comes out. No, not stainless. Nothing I have down here is stainless, and I don't think it ever will be. I think stainless will pose problems with what I'm doing, so I've never heard of a person who forges like this ever using stainless, so I think that would pose a problem. It may not, I don't know, but no, everything I have is not stainless, hence is why it gets so much harder. Stainless steel just doesn't get as hard, doesn't hold that edge as well, and as Classic Wow here will tell you, it's the truth. It's just it's a totally different animal compared to a high carbon steel. But to be fair, no really good kitchen knives are stainless. Not many, but all the good Japanese steel kitchen knives, all carbon steel. They're not stainless. So you have to learn how to take care of them. It's a totally different art. So as you make a knife like this, how big is this damn thing? I can't even put my ruler too close to it, or I'm going to light the ruler on fire. Okay, it's about 7 inches right now. I'm going to go a little bit longer. Oops. So yeah, with high carbon steel, with any of the knives I have, they have to be, any of them could be used the same while cooking. You would just have to basically wash it, dry it, put it away. It does look good in jewelry, yeah, stainless steel looks good. But as far as edge holding, if I want to sell something to somebody that's going to be a lot cooler looking, a lot tougher, as far as the edge, I want to give them, I want to do the high carbon because it's going to hold that edge a lot longer. It doesn't have to be sharpened. All the stuff I have upstairs is proof positive of how good that high carbon stuff works. Well, take care, Classic. Enjoy Fortnite. I'm probably playing Dead Cells later tonight myself, so. Food industry, it depends. Now, In the food industry, if you're talking about high quality knives, real professional chefs rarely use stainless. Most of them use high carbon. If you look at things that are out there like, what's the name of the knife that I really like? Shun knives. If you look at Shun knives, they are super high carbon, VG10, really sharp, crazy sharp steel. But if you leave it in your sink, it's going to rust. So they always have to be washed, dried, set away. I don't think there's a requirement for it as far as the knives. Now, like if you're using them for table cutlery, probably. But I think in the kitchen, that depends on the chef. And normally you wouldn't take a normal like deli restaurant, little place, and be like, you know, and guys are going to be using them. It's very rare. But, you know, at a Michelin place or a 5-star restaurant like Four Seasons, guys that cook for a living, they bring their own stuff. They have their own blades. You know, those guys, they will use, there's some guys out there that make knives for, you know, for high-end kitchens and stuff like that, and people pay top dollar for them. So, you know, it's, you know, if you can make them pretty as well as functional, you know, there's money to be made for sure. I mean, I know I'm just starting out, so I'm not expecting super top dollar for my stuff, but, you know, I want to make good, sharp product that, you know, can cut, can do the job. But I've never heard of any requirement in the food industry, unless you talk about the place settings. Right. Yeah, I know there's stainless rules like that, like the tabletops and all that other stuff has to be. But yeah, welcome back, General, as well. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the rules. I just know people buy them. I'm trying to think of the name of the guy. It's Bob something. Robert something knives. This guy's knives are so exclusive. The knives go for usually a couple grand a piece. They're beautiful Damascus pieces, which is something I'm going to be working on in the very near future once my new grinder gets here. I do have the tube steel for it all set up, so I got tube steel, so I'm ready to start doing some ball bearing Damascus, which will be a fun start. But, you know, this guy does like gorgeous pieces of work, and, you know, he does amazing, amazing pieces that are, you know, he's got knives that would cut God, you know, stuff that's sharper than anything you can imagine. And, you know, I don't think you get that with a regular stainless knife. Henkel does it pretty good. I think Henkel steel is really pretty good. They do stainless knives, and they're usually very, very sharp. They have a good edge. But most of the time, a regular kitchen knife, if it's stainless, like I said, the one I had before, the one I made upstairs, the big chopper, cut through this baseball, was durable enough to cut through the baseball. It landed on a stool, so the baseball's on a stool. It cut through, hit the stool on the bottom, as well as fruit, vegetables, still hitting the stool all day. And at the end of everything, it still went to a piece of paper and just went so you don't get that kind of edge or durability with stainless. You just don't. And, you know, if you're going to work with it every day and you don't want to have to sharpen it every 10 minutes, then that's probably why they would go with what they go with. So, Yeah, they some of them are. Like I said, Henkel knives, from what I've known, are really good. Some of their stainless is really nice, and it does a pretty good job. It really does. But it's just, they do. They get sharp. They'll get sharp, but they lose that so much faster. It just, from everything I've seen and learned, that's basically what I've learned from it all is that high carbon just, you know, the high carbon is just superior. But again, you've got to know what you're dealing with, because if you don't wash it and dry it, goodbye. Got a lot of shaping to do on this thing. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You have to be ready to take care of it. My sister had asked for a shoe knife in her wedding registry. She had no idea. It looked like a nice knife, so she didn't have any clue. Well, the knife has rust spots on it and things like that because she doesn't know. You can't just leave it in the sink. You can't just leave. But I mean, if you sharpen that thing up, woof, gone. Whatever's in the way, it's like it's not even there. So that's just, you know. Yeah, it is, but some people just don't remember that. You know, never put it in a dishwasher, you know. Well, my sister doesn't have any cast iron either, so that could be part of it. I don't know. My sister doesn't cook a lot either, to be fair. If she's watching this stream by some slim possibility, she might argue with me, but I don't think she cooks a lot. She cooks a little bit more now that she has my niece, but I don't know if my sister makes a lot of pancakes. She cooks a little bit more for my niece now, so she has been cooking more. You know, once you have the baby, you do a lot more of that because you're not going out and buying fast food for a baby. So, you know, she does a lot of that, but thinking of working on that bolt real soon. I'm about had it with this knife for tonight. Amazing how much steel you can get, how much blade you can get out of a piece. know, you don't think about it, but you can get a lot out. Yes?
Do you mind if I try this?
Go.
Okay. If it fucks up your thing, just let me know.
I'll let you know if the quality goes down. Yeah. It's 8 o'clock. Are you sure you're all right doing that now?
Just for a little.
Okay. Yeah, we have a wok here. We don't have cast iron, but man, that wok, once you season that and get that steel nice and seasoned, that does a great job with cooking. You don't have to, man, nothing. Nothing sticks to that stuff. Didn't really move enough steel out to start with here, so I'm trying to fight it back and move some steel where I need it. Trying to get more to the blade down by the handle. My wife's going to actually try streaming on her Twitch right now. Yeah, some of them are, I mean, they're all good. The same thing applies, though, with a wok. You have to season it, and if you season it proper, you have basically no issues with anything sticking. You can cook eggs in there, gone, whatever, they fall out. All that stuff. So, my wife's stream is going to be very interesting. My wife's streaming a crochet stream right now. So for those of you on Twitch, if you want to add her, she's on Knotted Designs, like knotted, like tying a knot. Knotted Designs. She does crochet, which is really cool. So if you want to follow her, that'd be awesome. Or if you're really into crochet, go check her out. But her stream, I think, is going to be mildly interrupted by me hammering. She's only a floor away, and her mics are exceptionally hot, so pretty sure they're going to hear everything. I don't know if she's yelling at me or not, but I don't know if I think she's saying something from upstairs, but I can't hear a damn thing. I don't know if she knows that the forge is loud. She should know. But definitely feel free to go check her out. If you enjoy crochet, she is the one to look at. I finally convinced her to go do it and do it for an audience. She's starting with some amigurumi stuff, so. Well, I mean, it might be the wrong term, but it's still what everybody uses, so. Yep, oh, I guess she's live, okay. She's live, and I got plenty of upstream. Yep. Yep, there you go. She's gone live a minute ago, so. Oh, you mean as far as like what the term means? They're like, oh, it's a seasoning that's in there. Yeah, I know. Some people don't understand. Yeah, fair enough. It is a weird term when you think about it. God, this cools off so much faster now. Man. Oh, I need a drink. I have a drink. Yeah, this arm is getting bigger, isn't it? Oh man, that's noticeable. Well, you basically are. I mean, I don't know what the technical actual term is myself. I mean, I've always heard it as seasoning, but I don't know. It's almost it's hard to say what I don't know actually what the term would be. I don't actually know that. Yeah, I mean, it is more of an accurate statement, like an actual word, like saying, you know, putting a patina on. But I guess because you can verb it a little bit easier, maybe that's why they use it more. Because you can say seasoning, but I mean, saying patinaing just doesn't ring right. Yeah, I don't know. It's not carburizing, because that's when you add carbon, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it would actually be called, but it is more of a patina, more than a, you know, a seasoning. But, I mean, well, if you think about it, yeah, sure, that sounds good. I guess... Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Eh. That just doesn't roll off the tongue, though. You know, I guess that's probably why they say what they say. We might have. Actually, I don't know if I remember talking about. Oh, hey, Daniel, I didn't even realize you were in there. How you doing? I don't know if we ever talked about seasoning pans before, but we've probably talked about hardening steel. I know we've done that. I know we've talked about that at least every week. So we definitely talk about that, and the oil into the metal when I quench, because you use the oil there, but that's all I know. So, but again, if you haven't, go check out my wife's stream. If you are into crochet, you know, I'd like to help her out a little bit. Go check her out, go follow her. It's Knotted Designs. She's got her own little crochet stream. Go check it out if you can. She's not multi-streaming yet, so we're getting there. But, Pretty big blade so far. Oh, okay, so polymerization is when you season a plate. Okay, yeah, it just doesn't have that ring to it, though. You know, I don't think anybody wants to say that. But what I'm thinking of is they might call it seasoning because, like firewood, when firewood seasons, you know, I mean, that's a term. As, you know, you leave firewood outside and it seasons. I guess it's a general, probably catch-all term that we use to just cover different things. So, that's my bet. I don't know. I'm not a very good linguist. I'm lucky I can barely speak English most of the time. So, don't quote me on language history. Well, yeah, it does, but to be fair, if you don't do your due diligence in the era of, you know, Google and everything else, if you don't do your due diligence and understand stuff like that, you know, it's like we said, having that pan and knowing how to use it, or having the knife and knowing how to use it. You know, buying a $100 chef's knife, not knowing how, you know, how to take care of it and stuff like that, it's a waste of money. Having a nice cast iron pan without knowing how to use it, you're throwing that money away. So same sort of thing. I think if you're going to invest in a different tool, you should absolutely, you know, be 100% ready to learn how to use it. That's me. I'm a little weird like that, but I gotta move the back of my forge open here. This is always fun. This is a fun thing to do once the forge has been on for like 2 hours. Hot, 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 hot. Yeah, see? Well, that's what they call it. They call it seasoned firewood or whatever. So, you know, stuff like that. Because a lot of people say you can't burn it while it's green. You know, you got to season the wood. You can't chop down a tree and burn it. It's wet. So you need to season it, which I understand. So, I don't know. Maybe people use. I don't really deal with firewood, but. So you've got to dry it, which I guess they call seasoning it. You leave it out in the yard under a tarp. You know, you season it. That's, well, yeah, true. But, it's, again, I don't know too much about it, so I'm speaking just from what I hear people say. So, I've heard people say, oh, yeah, you know, that's good seasoned firewood. Yeah, good. It's dry. It'll burn real nice. You know, if I go cut down a tree right now and throw pieces of it in the fire, it's going to smoke and smolder. Well, see, I've never had to deal with an actual fireplace or a wood-burning stove. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. You know, when you do that stuff, yeah, it's some. I'm sure there is. You know, I'm sure there's different stuff to that. The same as there is anything else. You know, it's more to learn. But I've never had a wood-burning stove or a fireplace in my house. So, you know, not a thing I was ever privy to, unfortunately. All right, I think this is about long enough. How long is this damn thing? Let's see. It's a little over 8 inches. I think that's about it. I think that's about as good as we're going to go. Now I got to start working on the handle. That's going to be fun. This is angry time here. This is when you got to tune in, folks, because I got to move this lump of steel right here. So it's time to get angry at it. Yeah, we're going to do this. Hold on to your britches, folks. This is gonna be good. Time for some swinging. Yeah, exactly. See, you guys know all this stuff. I'm a rookie. I've never had to explore that stuff. And obviously I'm not using a wood furnace or anything like that for this stuff. And creosote, yeah, creosote's nasty. I've seen ads for that stuff, like like a chimney cleaner log, you burn it, knocks out the creosote and all that shit, yeah. The only thing I have is a fire pit out in my backyard. And basically I just get whatever the hell logs I can. I buy a bag of that shit at the store. Just one of those things at the store, you just buy that pre-bundled little bag, and that lasts me all friggin' fall and spring and shit. I don't use it too much. Nice. Just watch like a rocket booster out your chimney. As it slowly tries to put your house underground from the thrust. That would be nutty. That would be pretty crazy. Come to think of it. Oh, I made it crooked. All right, back we go. Power hammer my ass. I am the power hammer. Come on, get off the damn thing. Technically, I have a chimney. I just don't have a fireplace. I have my water heater and my gas heater, which are right over here. They go up and out the chimney, but we don't have an actual fireplace. So that's all I know. I mean, it's all it is basically a tube about that big that runs up through the middle. I don't even think there's any space. I don't even think if I wanted to put a fireplace in, I could. I don't think of it with where it is. It might be on that wall. It'd be in a weird spot in my living room if I was going to do it. Where the chimney is, it'd be like in a weird spot in the middle of my living room. Yeah, fair enough. True, every house probably has a fireplace. Every house has saunas, so yeah, I guess that makes perfect sense. Come on, you bitch. Trying to get that drop there, working it. Time to swing hard. Woo! Earning it today. I haven't done this in too long. I gotta do it more often. At least you guys have good maintenance laws like that. Nobody would follow that shit here in the States anyway. Nobody would give a shit. It would just be, I mean, nobody cares about their fireplaces here. It's very rare. I mean, we have those creosote sweeping logs, whatever they're called. I don't remember what they're called, but I know they used to advertise them on TV, especially in the winter, so you didn't burn your damn house down. Oh, that must be nice. Around here, a lot of the houses are, you know, you got row homes built right on each other. The only thing separating them is a wall. You're probably right. The only thing separating them is the wall, and the wall is supposed to be some kind of fireproof wall. Huh, weird. Yeah, it's true. So many laws, so much hard stuff to figure out. I don't understand most of it myself. But that's why I don't study law. That's why I hit metal in my basement. You know, when I look at it, my arms don't look that different. They really don't. But on camera, it's a big difference. I don't know if it's because I'm closer on that side a little bit. Yeah, I think it's because when I stand here like this, I'm actually closer to the camera. So I think that helps. That makes it look, it makes it look really funny, but if I actually kind of get squared up to the camera, it's not so bad. Hey man, what can I tell you? It's really not that bad. I gotta get one of those like soft tape measures and like figure it out. Like do the circumference. I ain't hammering lefty. I'm gonna kill somebody if I do that. You know, to be fair to Molly, I think the best train ride I ever had was when we went to Boston over the summer, me and my wife, and on the way back from Boston, we were in the regular car. On the way back, we got in the quiet car, and there was one seat, and I swear to God, the legroom, when we were seated here, the next seat in front of me was there at this anvil. Like I was like, I'm looking around like, is there a handicap logo or something? Like I'm not supposed to sit here, you know, this is reserved for people, you know, handicapped or whatever. And I'm like, are we allowed to sit here? And yeah, I asked one of the conductors when they came around for the ticket, I said, is this like a handicapped seat or something? He says, nope. I said, okay, cool. So we're on a quiet car with so much leg room, and let me tell you, best train ride I've ever taken in my life. Never had a better train ride. So, if that's what it takes, if Finland's figured it out, well, you guys have gotten it, so. I think I should still have the lefty swinging donation incentive. Since I can't get bits anymore, I should have you use the PayPal donation if you want me to swing lefty. I should have people do that. So if you want to see me swing lefty really bad, you let me know. And you can send me a PayPal donation and I'll swing lefty a few times. How's that? That's going to cover how much I'm probably going to hurt myself. Or break something. On bigger trains, usually yes. Like on bigger trains, you have like long distance trains. Usually have like a car, which has like the little, well, several of the cars, they have like a sleeper cabin and stuff like that. But most of the regular ones, it's usually like too wide, and it's like it feels more like an airplane. It's basically like an airplane, 2 seats and then a seat in front of you. Basically, you can touch the seat back in front of you, and that's it. It just goes all the way down the train. So. But here in America, trains are unfortunately going the way of the dodo. We don't use them very much, mostly because we don't have like really good, cheap, high-speed rail. So, you know, that's a huge problem. We have it, but it's so limited and so bloody expensive. And I think that's what makes it prohibitively expensive for a lot of people. If I want to take the high-speed rail from here to New York, it's going to cost me upwards of $300 for an hour and a half ride. So you tell me why nobody's using that shit. And I don't know how the conversion rate is, but if we're going to go to Finland, so I don't know, $300 is for that train ride. If I wanted to buy a new Xbox, it's $600. So, yeah, they really are. They're not good. High-speed rail just hasn't come along. So, you take the Excella from where I'm at, basically Philadelphia, and you know, you take that from Philadelphia to New York, and it's $300 just for a one-way trip, and it's ridiculous. And so nobody uses it. But you look in Japan, it's the only way to go. You look at Japan, it's like, oh yeah, you get on the high-speed rail, fucking gone. Mach 6, fly, I don't know, whatever, however fast they go. They're goddamn fast. Shit breaking the sound barrier. People getting thrown to the backs of their seats. Here we go. Let's go. Come on. Hit it hard. What are we thinking so far? I know it needs to slim down a little bit as far as the chef's knife shape. Yeah. So, it's not bad. I'm probably going to slim it down a little bit. I'm going to cut out a lot of that belly, but it is a lot of knife meat. It's a lot of knife meat. So, I want to take out a lot of the belly. That's kind of hard to do sometimes. So, get that long, lean shape. Just go all the way up that gradual curve. It's kind of hard to do, so I'm probably going to do some of that on the grinder. I don't know how much. Yeah, it would be a cool cleaver. Buses are not great. Buses are usually inner city things around here, most of this country. That's what buses are usually for. Buses usually end up just being like stuff in the city. You don't, you either basically have a car. In my area, it's either you have a car or you don't. I mean, it's really pretty simple. Like nobody, mass transit is really just, you know, it's unfortunately like an inner city thing. It's not like a good way to travel. So yeah, it's not great. I don't want to ride a bus unless I really have to, and even then, I still don't want to. My boss thinks they're great, and I'm like, nope, no thanks. God damn, this is a lot of knife. Ooh, almost lost it. Back in you go. Oh. Well, our subway systems are usually the piss lines. If you wanna ride on something that smells like piss, take the subway. That is your surefire way to get your dose of eau de urine for your day. So. Well, mass transit's nicer in a lot of other places. You know, it's like one of my bosses has a house in Germany, and he says the subways are clean enough that you could eat off the floor, and he says it like, and it's like, that's not really like a joke or an exaggeration. They are that clean. They are really that absolutely 100% clean. Like they care about that stuff there. All right, a little more hammering on this, then I think I'm gonna start. Oh, hey, Wisdom. Yeah, for sure. Welcome back. Yeah, you're catching the end of this chef's knife that I'm working on here, trying to get the handle hammered out, and then I'm gonna kick it over to the fabrication section of the stream today. Right, exactly. You can't clean it up. It's mostly where homeless people go to hang out. Nobody cares. But in Germany, they take better care of it. They police it. They watch it. They take care of it. A lot of countries are like that. Like Japan. Japan's is no joke. Things like that. But yeah, so after I get this done, the fabrication section of the stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bolt. I'm going to squish it to a size that's going to fit pretty snugly into here. However, by whatever means necessary, that's going to be. So I'm going to get this bolt, I'm going to get it flattened to a square, I'm going to try to squeeze it into this thing so it's tight. Once I get it tight and I get it to a certain part, I'm going to cut it off. Then I'm going to weld a piece of flat square stock on top of it, maybe about the size of this portion of the anvil here. I'm going to weld a piece of flat on there so I can drop this in and boom. Then what I want to do is I'm going to weld a couple pieces of round stock. I can probably make them. I can probably hammer them out. I'm going to weld them onto the top so I can take these little curvy guys like this. Once they're heated, put them on this thing. Again, I got to find the right size pieces, put them on, and while the tool's holding onto this, just bend it flat. Because hammering these things is a nightmare. So that's what I need this for, so I can start opening these things up. So that is what fabrication part of the stream is going to be today. And I've been talking too long and forgot about my piece. Now it's covered in scale. Here we go. Hammer hard, baby. I'm sure this is doing wonders for my wife's stream, by the way. She probably wants to kill me. Because she can see her levels. She's got OBS. And I'm sure her levels are going fucking bonkers every time I hammer on here. Racer Man, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the follow. I hope you're enjoying the hammering. Ow. Hot scale. If you're enjoying the forging, I hope you are. Please feel free, drop a line in the chat. It's always nice hearing from my viewers. If you already have and I just haven't turned around yet, I apologize. Whew. Ah, hey, Racer Man. Yeah, it's going good. It's going good. Working on this chef's knife today. Trying to get this all hammered out because it's fun. Yes, please do, Molly. Please do. Go pay her a visit. Like I said, Knotted Designs. So it's Knotted and then Designs. So there's 2 D's in there. Go check her out. It's a great. She's a great crocheter. She can use the follows and the views. It'll really help her out. So please give it a look. Let her know what you think. And she's going to try to keep making the stream bigger and bigger. So. For sure. She's working on little amigurumi stuff right now, which is awesome. She's working on a little raccoon. She's the one who made me, I'm gonna take this off. She's the one who made me Mr. Poopy Butthole back here. So yeah, he doesn't do good in the bright lights. But she made me Mr. Poopy Butthole. So that's why he's hanging around here with me. Ooh-wee. Whatever you say, Rick. We're here to help. I don't do a very good Mr. Poopy Butthole voice. I apologize. That's pretty terrible. But welcome to the stream, Racer Man. I really do hope you're enjoying it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask away. I'm more than happy to answer anything you'd like to know about myself, the streaming, the forging, anything I can answer anyway. I've only been doing this for about 9 months, so I am by no stretch of any imagination an expert. But I will do my best to answer any questions you may or may not have. But today's project is a chef's knife, so we're working it. I got to take some of the belly out of this thing. That's probably going to be a project for the grinder. But right now I want to get this handle thinned down and lengthened out. Oh, it is absolutely a hobby to have. I love it. I love working with my hands. There's a wood shop behind me. There's a little jet lathe, mini lathe hiding next to the drink cup there. There's a bandsaw right there-ish somewhere. Drill press over behind Mr. Poopy Butthole. So I've been doing woodworking and stuff for a while, so I enjoy working with my hands. It's just, I needed something that was gonna, I don't know, that was gonna give me that rush, that was gonna give me that, that energy. You know, doing this, you get to put it into yourself. Well, soon I will be able to, General. Soon I will be grinding an inch of steel off stuff. Once I have the new grinder, which I am desperately waiting for, saving up money, trying to get her. Once I do, it's going to be no joke. It's going to be grinding, and it's going to get done fast. Ah, shit. Whew. Oh, excuse me. I need a drink. This Coke's not doing it for me, though. This Coke's a little too bubbly. It's giving me the gas. It's hard to Hard to stream and talk while you're burping on Pepsi or whatever the hell it was. Maybe it's Coke. I don't know. I lost track. Ugh. I do love making stuff, though. That's for sure. That's been kind of the go-to with this for the last 9 months. It's just such a rush to be able to make stuff again. I love the woodworking. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it, but working on a lathe or things like that, there's just not a lot of energy put into it. So when I can just go and work and hammer, I really feel like I made something when I'm done. It just, I know I made stuff otherwise, but it just really more feels like there's that much more into it than there was before. So get angry at it. Gotta hit it hard. So, but for anybody else, really, if you do have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. If there's anything you'd like to know about me or the stream, ask away. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that I am capable of. But very shortly, we're going to go into the fabrication section of tonight's stream. I don't know what the hell's on the end of this. What the hell's that smell? Oh, rust is burning off. I'm not on fire. It's good. Like I said, New Year's resolution. Don't light myself on fire. I felt so bad. My mom gave me, this is a Christmas present for my folks. My mom found this awesome apron. Really sturdy, really heavy duty. I mean, it wraps around real nice. It's got pockets for days. I almost felt bad. Like I don't want to wear it. I want to like dress up in it. It was so nice. It's so nice. It's thick. It almost feels bulletproof, but it's got a lot of nice pockets and stuff. So I'm really, it was a cool surprise. It's really nice. Goes well with the kilt. It's actually about the same color, the same saffron leather color. Hand's starting to get a little sore. It's not so much the grip. It's always this one spot right here at the base of my hand that always gets sore when I'm hammering. It drives me crazy. All right, I think we're almost there. So I'm gonna take it easy. I'm gonna do one more heat. I can't. Unfortunately, well, the longer the hammer handle, the more it ends up resting on my hand. So the longer it is, the more it wants to lean this way, and where it's leaning like this is where it hurts. So the way the hammer sits kind of like that, that's where it hurts. If I choke up here, I'm good. I can hammer all day. So that's what I tend to do. You'll see me do that as my hand starts to hurt. I'll choke up here because then it's not hitting that part of my hand. But when I want to hammer hard, I mean, I guess I could really choke down past the end of the handle. That doesn't sound very safe, but I could hammer from down here and it doesn't do that. But also I can't go too much longer because if I go like this, that's the ceiling. So if I go that's the head of the hammer is on the ceiling right there. And that's all that you can see the hammer. That's the bottom of the hammer handle. So if I go any longer, we actually had this discussion in the beginning of the chat. If I went longer, I would be smashing the thing into the ceiling, probably on a way too regular basis. Well, but I can't go longer because, well, it might work, but I don't see why having a longer handle and choking up would do anything, because I just need to keep it away from doing this. It's just that weight on the end, that's all. That's the only issue. It's that weight kicking off the end. Ah. All right, I think I'm going to call it on this thing for the day. I can work it a little bit more later. So that's about where we're at. It's not, like I said, it's not the vibration so much, it's just the hammer wearing. Like, I can feel, just like holding it like this, it hurts. Just from that, like that, because as I come down on it, that tilt is putting that pressure onto my hand. So as it swings down, I think it's because I'm probably not gripping the hammer hard enough. Could be a lot of things. I don't know. Not 100%. So, but I'm going to leave that there. And now we are going to start on the fabrication section of the show. We are going to make a hardy hole tool, which will eventually be welded into, well, it will be welded to something, and that welded thing will go into my anvil and be useful later. So I have a bolt. I have bolt tongs. I'm going to use the bolt tongs for their intended purpose for once. Hoorah! So, welcome to the fabrication section of the show. I hope you are enjoying. But as we make a hardy hole tool, this is what a normal hardy hole tool looks like. This is a cutter. Basically, you put this little wedge, spike, slasher thing in here. You shove this into this. And when it's in here, that's hot. Forgot the anvil's hot. You put it in there, and so you can basically cut a piece off without having to have a friend hold something for you. Otherwise, yeah, that's what they are, man. They're V-bit bolt tongs. That's what they're called, and I'm actually using it for its purpose instead of a railroad spike for once. They're called bolt tongs because when you hold them, you can actually put the bolt head inside that hole, and the triangle bolt head here holds the bolt really nicely. But most people just buy them to use them for railroad spikes. So, but now this is the first time I'm using it for its exact purpose. So you would put this in, you would cut things on it, it works great. So I'm going to take the end of that bolt, I'm going to smash it into a square that's this big, as this part, so it'll slide into here. And once it goes in there, I'm going to cut the rest off. I'm going to weld a flat part on the top of it so I can weld another tool onto it. Bucket o' bolts. I have a bucket of bolts. How big you need? I already have them. I don't have to make them. These are railroad bolts. These fuckers hold down train pieces. Uh-oh. My propane's getting cold. Hand forged only. Yeah, hand forged. I'll hand forge the threads, all that good stuff. That's normal, right? Hand forged threads. Let's see. 49 degrees on the side of my propane tank. Oh, never mind. It's -1 on my propane tank. -1 Fahrenheit on my propane tank. That is bloody cold. So I might not have too much longer to be forging. So I'm going to have to try to hammer this puppy out pretty quick. So if y'all are out there, now's a great time to chat. Please feel free, drop a line, because I don't know how long it'll be before my propane tank starts to choke. So for those of you who paintball, who don't know about this, when you turn a liquid into a gas, as it changes pressures, if you've ever had a CO2 paintball tank out in the cold weather, you would notice that after using it for a little while, that's what we're doing. That's basically what we're doing. If you've ever used that CO2 tank, as the CO2 tries to go from a liquid into a gas, you'll notice that the tank gets really cold and it stops making CO2 after a while once it gets too cold. Well, the propane tank will do the same thing if I give it the chance to. So I am, seeing as it's almost -1 on the outside of this thing, it's probably very cold inside and I'm not going to get the pressure I need soon. So I need to roll through and kick a little ass. So this bolt needs the first heat is always the longest. That should be a song, right? Isn't that the song? First heat is the longest? I don't know, something like that. Considering I've never made a hardy hole tool before, I'm pretty sure that this is going to go really poorly. But we're going to see. Because I have to make it square, which is going to be tough. So let's see. Let's start. Give myself a reference point right here. Yeah, a lot more to go here. You lose a lot of your accuracy when your hand starts hurting. Yeah, 20 shots. My hand's running out of shots right now. Whew. Pushing it. I'm pushing it. I'm working through for you people. 60? Well, at least one of us is counting. Oh, I'm just going to come back into my awesome big arm stance. Yeah, it looks... It is, because I am much closer to the camera this way. Like, literally, like, 8 inches closer. And I'm sure it helps that it's... Like, if I go this way, now the left arm looks huge. So, why were you counting? I'm on time, not hammer swings. It's reheats. That's the big thing. I got to count reheats right now. But if you're out there anywhere else, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, please feel free to comment in your viewing method of choice. It will pop up in the chat right here to my left. So please feel free to chat, comment, anything you'd like to know, any questions you may have. Please feel free, ask away. If you are on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as that helps out greatly. And if you're on Twitch and you're watching for the first time and you have not yet, please follow. That also helps a lot. Oh, this is a bitch. The only problem is when I choke up on this thing, I lose some control. Oh yeah, that's not square at all. Well, it's not terrible. Mainly have to stop now because I need to keep giving my hand a break. Ugh. Woo. Oh. Who needs to go to the gym? Screw the gym. Oh, a few definitely weren't straight. I told you, I'm running out of hand right now. When it's hurting so much, it's very hard to grip. So it's hard to keep a good firm, and with 2 sets of gloves on, I think at this point I might as well just put one glove on and say to hell with it. I can probably get a better grip. This thing works great when I still have a full grip. These gloves are fantastic, but when you don't have a full grip, I really better get these off the anvil. But when you don't have a very strong grip and you're running out of strength, you got to go back to the one glove, or else you're just losing the hammer. Because it's so tight, I have to actually squeeze harder to get a grip with the gloves. Actually, you know what? Fuck this, I ain't no hero. Let's try out the new hammer. Let's go to the 2.5. Why be a hero? Go with the 2.5 pound hammer, don't hurt yourself. there's something coming off of this thing. Ah, fuck. Whew. There's a lot that aren't straight right now, but the 2.5 pound hammer is going to help a little bit. Okay, I guess I'm getting slower and slower. I'm running out of gas. I thought I had more left in me. I swear, I thought I had more left. Oh, there's the wife. Cool. Looks like people are chatting in her stream. That is very cool. All right, I'm gonna try to go more than 48 on this one. God, it just hurts. Like it hurts my hand. Oh. I don't know if this hammer is gonna hold up to this, to be honest. There might be a coating on here too that might be kicking off. Something smoking off of it when I hit. All right, here we go. Better grip. I don't like this hammer. Suffer through the heavy one. God damn it. Damn it. Now I'm running out of fucking steam. You fall. Too much time changing. Yeah, probably. Well, see, the issue is if I keep changing stuff. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go over to the other S-wing. Go to the put you back. Go back to the S-wing, 2.5, the long one. Yeah, my back was in it 2 hours ago. It ain't anymore. Well, you know, it was they didn't have the other ones in the store when I went. I never used this side. This side has never been used. It's still got whatever lacquer coating would be on it, but it was the only hammer they had when I went out and I was ready to start doing things, and I went and found a hammer. So it was the only 2.5 pounder I could find. I wasn't ready to swing a 3 yet, so. Oh, I don't like the feel of this either. I'm too used to my 3. Oh, we're getting close. She's almost there. Surprisingly, it's almost there. See a need, fill a need. It is. It's called an engineer's hammer. That is exactly what they called it in the Home Depot where I bought it. That's exactly what they called it. But like I said, it was the only 2.5 pound one they had. Just starting out, I wasn't really comfortable to try to go to a 3 pounder because I know it would have burned me out too fast. So basically, I was like, let me get the 2.5 pounder, be smart. I'm never going to use the other side, and if I find another hammer, I'll find another hammer. So, but yes, it is called an engineer's hammer. That is correct. she's like right there. But for anybody who's new, who's just joining in, who's wondering what the hell I am doing, this is the fabrication section of the show. I am taking this bolt and I'm going to make it fit into the hardy hole of my anvil. I'm going to get another one actually, because I should probably do a couple of these while I'm thinking about it. And I'm going to make it fit into the hardy hole on the anvil so I can weld things onto it and basically use it for other things, such as the first thing I want to do is weld a piece of plate onto it that would fit on top of here so I could bend shit. That's going to be the first one. I should probably put this in there and start getting it warmed up. Yeah, don't touch that, idiot. It's too small for this. So this way I can bend things. That's going to be the first thing that I really wanted. It's a little not square. Actually, it's a lot not square. A little bit that. Forged in Fire helped, but basically in the long run it came down to the fact that, you know, I love working in the wood shop, and really what turned it around is I said I needed something that I kind of felt, I kind of felt like I needed something that put more energy into the projects I was doing. I think that's kind of the problem. Yo, Matt, what's going on, dog? You know, making woodworking stuff, I could sit on the lathe all day and I could do 10 things and I'm not even sweating. So I kind of wanted, I kind of wanted to do the woodwork because now it feels, or the metalwork, because it really feels like I'm actually putting that heart and sweat and soul into things now. And, you know, as much as I'm still just learning, very much learning, but I've always had an interest in blades. That's never been a doubt. But, all right, you know what, this isn't going to work in here. Stay. And there it goes. Oh, no. Get away from the wooden stool. All right, stay there for now. So, you know, it was only the next logical step was being able to make blades. So, look at this. We got all three media sources. That is awesome. I love it. Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube all working perfectly. Thank God. Stupid Restream app is worth it, I guess. Ugh. All right. This probably should be the hammering that gets it in here. So straighten this bolt out a little bit. Funny thing is, it's so close, I don't know if I should just wait and let it cool down and see what happens. Because it might fit when it's cool. Let's see. The project tonight is the chef's knife, which is over here on the floor. That was the project from the last 2 hours. So, working on a chef's knife. I'm kind of running out of hand. Ow, I'm burning the rest of it. I should cool these. Down in there, cool off. Too hot. Oh, they're really hot. Ooh, they're way too hot. Okay. So the chef's knife is what we've been working on for the first 2 hours of the stream. Seeing as my hand is hurting a little bit too much, getting blistered again. But that is what we basically started with. So the good old rail anchor chef's knife. It's gonna lose a lot of weight. It's got to go on a major diet. It's got a big belly, so I'm gonna have to grind a lot of that off for the shape that I want. But now we are working on a hardy hole tool to get welded together. That's gonna go right here on this hole. As you keep seeing me shove it in there, it's gonna be set here on this hole. I want a flat plate welded on top of that, and once I weld that flat plate on top, I'll be able to weld other stuff to it so I can bend things, namely these rail anchors, because they are a bitch, and I'd like to heat these up, and then this way I can put something on here, wrench it, and just open it. So like I'll have it on top of something and just put it over, put it around that thing, and then just turn it, and it'll open it up. That's the general idea, because hammering something in this area is really hard and really dangerous. So that's the general plan for these pieces. Well, this piece. I got a couple bolts. I'm going to do 2 of these, so I have one for later. Ooh, it's almost there. Oh, she's right about there. She's like perfect. To be honest, I don't even know if I should hammer it anymore. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in. I'm going to go grab a pipe wrench from the other side of the shop. I'm going to wrench this thing because it's a little trapezoidal. Maybe not trapezoidal, maybe parallelogram. Yeah, I think parallelogram is the word I'm looking for. So I'm going to grab a pipe wrench from over here on the other side of the shop. The non-hot side, if I can find it. I don't know which bucket it's in. Oh, are you in the bottom of this? Of course you are. Why wouldn't you be? So grab the pipe wrench. I'll put this thing in here, and then I'm gonna straighten it. Kind of just wiggle it in here to straighten it and turn it around a little bit. Stop setting shit on fire. Get back in there. Thing's trying to burn my damn table. So, but everybody, thank you for joining. We'll see how long we go for. I'll get the next bolt started shortly. So as soon as this one's all squared up, we'll get started on the next one. Hammer it out a little bit more. It's actually right about where I want it. That's perfect. That's fantastic. Sits right at the level. So the square part sits right there at the top of the anvil. So all that square, so let's see if I can bring this up a little bit better here onto the camera, or drop it on the floor like a dipshit. So that whole squared part, you can see the corners there, that sits dead even flush at the top of the anvil. So I'm pretty sure as this cools, it might actually shrink down a little bit and fit better. So yeah, that sits down. It sits right to there, which is almost the same length as this. And this came from an actual company. Oh yeah, that's actually exactly the same length. Okay, cool. So that's going to be perfect. That's done. I'm not going to try to quench it because I don't need to. I'm going to set it on the bricks, and then this is going to go back in there, and we're going to work on bolt number 2. So there we go. Anybody else has any questions, please feel free, drop a line, let me know. Don't forget to follow if you have not. Follow, subscribe, whatever the heck you want to do. All the good stuff. Depends on, just depends on what version you're on. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Subscribe, turn those notifications on, all that good stuff that everybody always says every time you watch a YouTube video. If you're watching on Facebook and you enjoy Facebook, make sure to like my Facebook channel that I have really been neglecting, which I should fix. The In Your Head podcast. I'm going to actually get some stuff updated on there. And if you're here on Twitch as well, don't forget to give a follow, folks. Helps out a bunch. So there you go. My wife is currently streaming on her Twitch, crocheting a raccoon, which I think is looking pretty good. I keep seeing little preview clips as I go back to my phone here. And it's looking pretty good, I gotta say. It looks really neat. So I'm gonna try to move these bricks back because I don't need super long forge today anymore. Let's try this here. Yep. Like I said, New Year's resolution, don't light myself on fire. Hot, hot, very hot. Okay, cool. Yay, I didn't light myself on fire. Woohoo! And I can always use the camera to make sure I'm not on fire. Bonus. That's a good New Year's resolution to have. A lot more people should go with that resolution. It'd be a lot easier to keep. Most people make these unkeepable New Year's resolutions. They're like, I'm not going to eat chocolate all year. Yeah, right. Good luck with that. Or whatever resolution you're going to come up with. But usually not lighting yourself on fire is a pretty attainable goal for most people, unless you're working in a forge or something else around 2100 degree temperatures. But, me personally, it might be a little trickier than the average person. I mean, I'd make a Richard Pryor joke, but I think that's kind of not classy. Although he made jokes about lighting himself on fire, but... Which was a shame. God, I miss him, man. He was one of the greats. I really do miss Richard Pryor. He was funny. I mean, I don't know if at this point he'd still be alive. I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how old Richard Pryor was when he died or how old he'd be today, but all the good comics are gone. George Carlin, Richard Pryor, all the greats are gone. John Candy, he was a great actor. All the good ones are gone, man. Breaks my heart. All right, here we go. Okay. So then should I ask what your resolution is? Or is it better I don't? I mean, it's not like a birthday wish, right? You're allowed to tell people what it is. It's not like it doesn't come true. It's really based on you whether it does or not. Oh, I told you what my resolution was. Now I have to eat chocolate. Oh, no. What is that line you are straddling for 2020, I wonder? really should move that brick from in front of my logo. There we go. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. You see my logo again. Stupid logo. The only reason I kept this In Your Head name instead of going with some cool Forge name, because I like the logo too damn much. Is that a reason? It's not a good reason, but it's a reason. Don't forget, if you do like crochet, if you're hanging around here, if you like crocheted work, such as things like Mr. Poopy Butthole back here, behind my head, if you do enjoy things like that, my wife does have a brand new Twitch channel that she is working with right now, which is Knotted Designs. So check that out on Twitch. Oh, okay, I get you. So don't kill customers, okay. Oh, hey there, Molly. Oh, she wrapped up. Yeah, I figured she would be soon. She has to go to work. She works from 10:30 p.m. our time, which is now 9:16, so she's probably getting herself ready for work. But yeah, she loves what she does. She enjoys crocheting. She makes all kinds of cool shit. So she's going to be using the stream as a good chance to get herself out there and get the work she does out there, so... Besides Mr. Poopy Butthole, she's got a lot of cool stuff. She's got a big fat ass binder full of projects. So, and she still owes me a Mr. Meeseeks. Sorry. I'm good. She's gonna come down here and yell at me soon, though. Losing the hammer. Yeah, it's working hard today, man. Two and a half hours in and my hand's a tad bit sore. So, losing a little bit of that strength right now. So, well, actually it's 3 hours in. So, that explains why I'm a little tired. But welcome to the channel, Zach. If you're new, don't forget to follow. I do try to stream every Tuesday and Thursday and bonus streams when I get around to it. Oh yeah, that's hot, shit. I didn't realize the anvil was that hot. But yeah, make sure you check me out every Tuesday and Thursday. I do try to keep the streaming somewhat regular. There's no point in overworking. There's no such thing. Pain is weakness leaving the body. Oh, there we go. This is gonna make a cool noise. It's fine. Let's see what this sounds like. I've never hammered on water before. It's probably gonna go pop. Nope, maybe not. Not as cool as I thought it would be, sorry. I see them do it all in the katana videos. I thought it would look cooler. Come on. straightened out. Why can I not swing straight? Come on! Hit the piece. I'm running out of arm. Well, but see, that's my resolution, is to not set myself on fire, so I don't have to worry about it. I should be good. I was going to yell up to ask my wife to see if she could grab me a tea, but I think after the Mr. Meeseeks comment, if I ask her for a tea, she's going to throw it at my fucking head. So I'm not going to do that. Because I'm smart. To be fair, she told me she was going to make me a Mr. Meeseeks, like, I don't know, season 1 of Rick and Morty. So she might have been upstairs when I yelled that, because she actually didn't come down. She'd usually come down and just yell at me anyway. But she'd have every right to. Why is this piece not... Oh, it's really... How close are we? Oh, we're close. Oh, shit. I mean, they don't. Not that I know of. I think that me and Matt were talking about that. I think you're allowed to tell people what they are. But I'm trying to make my resolution come true. Whew. Okay. It is 9:20. Yeah, damn. Man, why can't I get some of the streamers from Games Done Quick? They got like 124,000. Just a couple would be nice. See how this other one fits. Now that it's nice and cold, should fit. Oh yeah, it slides right in now. Now it slides too far. Yep, exactly what I need. That would be awesome. Maybe we could see if we could start getting something like that instituted, like a birthday wish. You can't talk about it or it won't come true. Add an anvil. It's a good anvil. Good late 1800s anvil. Got to be over 140 years old, this thing. The Armitage anvil. Mouse hole Armitage anvil. Nice slidey fit right in there. Might actually be a little big or a little small now. And once I cut it there, not that much wiggle. That's good. Cool, perfect. tighten it up a little bit. There we go. Once I weld the thing on top, it'll be all good. What the hell? I got energy in me for one more. Oh, yeah, that's, uh-oh. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. I think I'm good. I apologize. My OBS connection dropped, which is weird. If I'm up again, please let me know. But I should be back up. Sorry for the drop there. Don't know what the hell happened. My OBS decided it was gonna take a poop. That wouldn't be bad. Let's see, do I got a bolt that's not too rusty in here? I have something that this thing like came with, but it's like, I don't know really what the hell it's supposed to be. Like, it looks like it would fit this way, but somebody smashed it flat. Because it's definitely not this round side. It's like, this came with it. So it's like, it's rectangle on one side, which definitely doesn't fit in the hardy hole. No, that's choking. That's not good. Yeah, I might have to stop. I think I'm running out of time on my propane. It's getting too cold. Sorry for the drop out there, guys, but I think we're back. Let me know if there's still any problems. I think OBS just cut out for a minute. Maybe my internet connection took a poop for a minute, but it says I'm good now. So sorry about that. Come on, baby. Undo. There we go. Woo. Well, that was a fun stream. We got stuff done. I got things fabricated, which is rare for me. I don't usually make my own stuff. But today we did. And it was cool. So. But yeah, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to say goodbye to my wife because she is actually taking a little vacation for the next 3 days after today. So I won't see her again until Sunday night. So I am going to go say goodbye to her before she runs off to work. But as for all you guys, thank you so much for hopping in the stream. I really appreciate it. I should have plenty of time this weekend as I don't have too much going on. So hopefully I can get back on this weekend, give you guys some bonus stream time, get a little work done down here, maybe get some of these knives finished and ground up a little bit. If you are enjoying what you're seeing, please make sure if you haven't to follow, subscribe, or any of that good stuff. You guys know what to do. It does help out a bunch. And if you come on back, I hope to see you next time. So that's why you follow, because if you get the bonus streams on Saturdays and Sundays and stuff, otherwise you won't know. You won't know if I'm going live, because I can't always keep to the schedule, and I like bonus stuff. So, yeah, so stay tuned. Actually, I may be streaming tomorrow. A good buddy of mine, Paul's going to come down here. We're going to try to record some good footage for the YouTube channel and stuff. So come on in. Stay tuned, guys. Stay followed. And I will see you guys again really, really soon. Have a good one, guys. Take care.